Okay, let's stop. So there's a reason why teachers do this activity. It's not a big part of it is to help you guys understand the purposes of communication. Helping you guys to see that you need to be clear and concise with your words and everything. But we're doing it a little bit different. You may not have caught on, that is those who are drawing, that what you are supposed to be drawing is the other person's name. Okay? So, when you understand that, the question is, how successful was this group?
Oh, yikes.
Come on!
Okay?
I need an A and an R, and that's supposed to be an I without the top.
Okay? Question for you. When you look at this, would you consider it to be a failure of the instructions given, or a failure to the interpretation of the instructions? Or both? Okay, it could be both. Okay, chances are the person giving the instructions were not as clear and concise, and the person who was listening probably didn't interpret correctly, right? But then it could be that they interpreted correctly, but this is what they were instructed to do, right? There was a group this morning where the person was told, draw a straight line. Now, good instructions, right? So what the guy did, the partner did, is he took his pencil, started at the top of the paper, and just drew a straight line down and off the table. What was he lacking as far as knowledge that he should have had? Okay, could have said you need to stay on the paper. Could have given a distance for how long the line should have been, right? Okay, what about this name?
Yikes.
It's upside down. You need to turn it another, yeah, like that. No other way. Yeah.
That is
Doesn't help. Okay. Now this one, I think it's very clear what happened. Did he get it wrong?
I mean, he did it.
He did it. Okay. Successfully wrote the name Evelyn. But what do you think stands out when you think of the instructions given? What do you think stands out more than anything?
Evelyn.
Okay, the lower G. So my guess is, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, okay? She started out giving the instructions and realized quickly that her instructions were not including the size or length of lines. Right?
I didn't know I was allowed to say that. I just said draw a vertical line.
Right. But then it fixed, right? Okay, you got it, you corrected it.
He caught on when I had him draw the V.
Okay. So then there's this one. Good job?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So you can see how giving instructions can be extremely difficult. Okay? If you're not being clear. Now, macaroni and cheese. How hard is it to mess up macaroni and cheese?
It's not hard. It's not that hard.
It's harder to mess up on macaroni and cheese, right? Than it is to. Anyways, I was making my daughter's mac and cheese one day.
Your dogs?
Daughters. No, I don't feed my dogs macaroni and cheese.
I do.
Anyways, I learned that day that I was making it all wrong. Because they don't like it how I make it.
That's why I was used to
They like theirs to be more soupy. Yeah, I don't care for soupy macaroni and cheese, right? So I had to change my instructions, or what I do. So I'm going to show you two videos. This first one is of a small company's warehouse processes. But I'm showing you this as an example of what small businesses do for their warehouse.
So up here.
I'm going to turn the audio down. So most small companies, when they set up their warehouses, they do something like this, where they have a lot of shelves, they put their products on the shelves, and then they pay somebody to walk around and pull products out of the crates or off the shelf to put them in their orders. Now, if you have a huge company, you're going to spend a lot of money on labor, right? Okay, because you're going to be hiring all these people to go around and pick up products. Besides that, think about how well organized you have to be in order to have this kind of a warehouse. You have to know exactly where everything is so that you don't spend time walking around the aisles, up and down the shelves, trying to find the product. So Amazon, they have created a new system that fits for them. Their process is a little bit different. Now, I am going to, well, I think it'll be okay. My last videos that I posted, parts of it got banned because the video had music on it. But this doesn't have music.
Houses have static rows of shelving, with staff walking back and forth. Here it's the shelves which do the walking. Or more precisely, the yellow shelf units hitch a ride on the orange rotor wheel units, operating under remote control.
In the front here we've got cameras and sensors. They're looking for any obstructions that might be on the floor. That'll send information back to the heart of it, and it'll tell the robot to slow down and come to a standstill safely. We also have scanners underneath, which is recognising where it is on the SC floor and move it from one location to another location.
Every item is placed by a picker on the shelves. It's been given a barcode, so a robot can find it later. But crucially, the shelves are stacked in a completely random way. This is deliberate. The same items are placed all around the factory, so robots or pickers are never far away from an item, making picking it quicker.
These robots do a neat little bit of machine learning, which is to realise if they happen to have on board an item which is currently trending and is somehow proving popular, instead of returning back to the middle, they actually hang around outside expecting them to be called upon again.
There's a direct link from what's happening here to a customer sitting at home in front of their computer. It looks super efficient. But with hundreds of thousands of items passing back and forth, what happens if one goes missing? An alert's gone out, saying there's something on the floor which shouldn't be there. Adam Cunliffe is a specially trained troubleshooter, one of very few people authorised to enter the cage where the robots roam.
The system's showing me that I have an item that's fallen out of the pod on the floor. What I'm going to do is draw a path from the gate to the item, and I'm going to turn on my safety vest, which will let out a radio frequency.
As the robots circle around him, Adam's jacket emits a radio pulse, which tells the robots to avoid him, protecting both them and him.